Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Laurel, and I'm bringing you a Pokemon Online YouTube Tournament Round 3 battle between Joey, also known as PokeAim MD, and his opponent Muzak. So this battle is win or go home for these competitors. This is the third battle of the best of three series. Joey's packing a team of Emboar, Slowking, Moltres, Steelix, Volibee, and Escavalier. He's using a fairly offensive team, but he does have a nice defensive core of Slowking, Steelix, and Volibee, but his goal is probably to sweep with Moltres, Escavalier, and Emboar. He's definitely going to want to keep hazards off the field, so Moltres can be a huge threat for Muzak's team. Muzak is packing a much more defensive team of Clefable, Jumpluff, Gothorita, Hitmonchan, and Skuntank. He's got that mammoth of a defensive beast, Alomomola, which does carry the Regenerator ability, and he's probably trying to sweep with Gothorita at the end. So with that done, let's get straight into the battle. So Muzak is going to lead off with his Jumpluff, and Joey is going to lead off with his Moltres. This Moltres is immediately threatened by Sleep Powder, so Joey goes straight into his Volibee. Muzak predicts that switch nicely and goes for the U-turn. Volibee can't be put to sleep due to its Overcoat ability, which is why Joey brought it in. Muzak brings in his Clefable, which immediately threatens this Volibee with Moonblast. However, Joey makes a great play and stays in and knocks off that Clefable's leftovers as Muzak makes a slight over prediction, trying to hit Escavalier or Steelix with the Flamethrower. Muzak then goes for the Moonblast and nabs the Emboar, which comes in and hits the Alomomola on the switch-in with Toxic, which is a great play for Joey because this Alomomola otherwise probably could have walled his entire team, except for maybe his Moltres, but he does put the Toxic on it, which is great for him. Joey's going to take this opportunity to bring in his Steelix. The Steelix is pretty much useless in this battle, other than to set up Stealth Rocks. Muzak is not carrying a Defog user or Rapid Spinner, so Joey just wants to put up his rocks and make them here to stay. He doesn't really care what happens with the Steelix. Unfortunately for him, he can't really do much with the Steelix later because he does get burned, but the Steelix's mission is accomplished, and he does put up the Stealth Rocks. Joey's probably deciding what he wants to do with his Steelix here. He eventually decides that sacrificing it is definitely the best play. And this poison is really starting to take its toll on the Alomomola. Joey takes the opportunity to bring in his Moltres on the Momo. He could either Fire Blast, Hurricane, or Hidden Power Grass. He decides to go for the Fire Blast. He probably predicts that Fire Blast plus Poison is going to kill the Alomomola. However, it does not. So that could have been a slight misplay on Joey's part. Hurricane or Hidden Power Grass would have killed the Momo. But Muzak makes a slight misplay here, and he tries to heal up that Skuntank, but Joey's Moltres is just so powerful that it takes it out with a Fire Blast. Muzak decides to switch in his Momo here, but gets hit by the Hidden Power Grass, so that could have been a slight misplay. He just lost Momo for nothing. He probably should have gone straight into this Jumpluff, but what can you do? Muzak sees that he's not in the favorable position matched up with the Volibee because he can't put it to sleep, and Joey predicts Muzak's switch perfectly and goes into his Escavalier, which is a great matchup against the Fairy-typed Clefable. Joey immediately threatens it with the Iron Head, and Muzak decides to switch in his Hitmonchan, which takes an insane 88% from that nice, juicy, powerful Iron Head. Joey goes into his Slowking here, which is taking some high jump kicks. It doesn't really mind taking high jump kicks, but it wants to scout for the Thunder Punch because he does not want his Slowking to die, because at this point in the battle it is much more important to him than the Volibee. So Joey brings in his Volibee to sack it to high jump kick, probably hoping for a miss, but you know, it's not a really big deal because Volibee wasn't going to do much. Joey decides to bring in his Emboar here, thinking that Muzak is probably Fist Plate and slower than that Emboar, but unfortunately that Hitmonchan is carrying Choice Scarf, and it is able to kill that Emboar. Joey finally brings in his Moltres. I sped this part up because it's pretty boring. Joey is just going to continue roosting because Muzak can't switch, because when he switches back in, he'll just die to Stealth Rocks. Eventually Muzak's either going to miss a high jump kick or run out of PP, so that's a pretty boring part of the battle, in my opinion. Muzak brings in his Jumpluff here, immediately threatening this Moltres with sleep. He can put anything on Joey's team to sleep at this point because that Volibee is dead and cannot absorb the sleep powder. Joey decides to put his Slowking to sleep, and Muzak takes this opportunity to bring in his Clefable. However, Joey immediately switches out and goes into his Moltres, which again immediately threatens Muzak's team. So Joey hits that Clefable for a nice, juicy 71%. Man, that thing is powerful. There's a reason it just got banned from LU last gen. So, Muzak takes the opportunity to bring in his Jumpluff on the Hidden Power Grass, which is a great play by him. This is It was definitely his only chance to win the battle. So he goes for Memento, which is just a huge play. Um, what Memento does is it drops your attack and special attack by 2 levels. So this weakened Moltres is locked into this Gothorito, which is now free to set up all over Joey's Moltres and probably sweep his team. So this is a great position for Muzak to be in. His Gothorito's probably got rest, so this Moltres does not face a threat at all. Muzak's goal was definitely to Memento something and start setting up this Gothorita, and he got exactly what he wanted. So he's just going to keep Calm Minding, keep Calm Minding, keep Calm Minding, keep Calm Minding, but no! Joey nabs the crit on the Hurricane, which is just bad news bears for Muzak, but that is what happens when you are trying to win a game using Calm Mind. Eventually, it can get crit, but not only does that crit go through Muzak's +4, +3, but it also goes through the -2 from the Memento. So that's pretty unfortunate for Muzak. That crit, however, may or may have not mattered. It does depend whether that Gothorito was running Hidden Power Fire to kill the Escavalier, because it would have had to dodge an Iron, or it would have died to an Iron Head. If you guys like this battle, please leave me some criticism, thumbs up, whatever, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to the POSim channel.